Okay, I'm back. Sorry, that was hubby coming home with my Timmy's. If you are Canadian watching this, here you go. Here's to you. If you're American, you have no idea what you're missing. Come on up. We'll give you some Timmy's. I'll even buy you one for free. We're that polite. Anyway, where was I? What was I saying? Oh, about Reba. So yeah, so we had our bedtime routine, where, you know, I would go to bed about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'd let her out for her last pee, and then she would just walk. We had her kennel was in our spare bedroom, which is directly across from the room I'm in right now, our bedroom. And she would just walk in there to her kennel, and she'd do, you know, the watchdog wind up thing, winding up the watchdog, where they walk around in a couple of circles and sort of knead their bedding and get it all nice and comfy. And then she'd plop down, and that'd be it. Out she'd go. And she loved her bed. She loved it. But a couple of nights that week, the whole week, she wouldn't leave his side. From the minute he got home, she was glued to him, no matter where he went. If he went in the bathroom and closed the door, she sat outside the bathroom door and cried. And she'd never done that. And it was like, Reba, what's wrong with you, honey? Daddy's just in the bathroom. It's okay. You know, she wouldn't leave him alone. A couple of nights he had, when he was going to bed, you know, I'd come in and tuck him in. We tuck each other in. And Reba would come in, and she'd give him kisses and stuff, and she'd hop up on the bed or whatever. And then I'd say, come on, Reba, let's go. Daddy's going to sleep, you know. And she'd be fine. She'd come back out with me, and that was our routine. And there was a couple nights where she wanted to stay with him in the bed. And I was like, no, come on, Reeves. Because when I was going to go to bed, you know, at 2 in the morning or whatever, I would have had to come and get her off the bed to take her out for a pee and put her in her bed, which would have woken him up. Which, I mean, when you have to get up at 3:30 and go to work is not a very nice thing. So the one night she was not leaving. She snuggled right into him, and no way, she's not getting off this bed. So my husband said, you know, just leave her, honey. She's fine. And I said, yeah, but Fonz, when I go to come to bed, honey, I'm going to wake you up, you know, trying to get Miss Muffet here off the bed. He said, it's all right. Just let her stay. He was so exhausted. He just didn't care. He's like, just let her stay. It's okay. So he's lying there all snuggled up with this huge hound dog. So I went out and I watched TV, and she stayed there the whole time. And I would close the bedroom door, so the TV wouldn't bother him. We just live in a small 800 square foot bungalow, a perfect little happy cottage. So I had left the door open just a little bit, that if she got off the bed and wanted out of the bedroom, she could just push the door open with her nose or her paw and not have to be, you know, scratching or whining and waking him up. So anyway, 2 o'clock, 2:30 comes. I'm finally ready to try to go to bed. And I came in and I went to get her off the bed. And I'm like, Reba, come on, let's go. Come on. Like trying to get her, and I'm trying to, like, you know, be quiet and not wake him up. And she wouldn't even look at me. And I knew she was awake. Her eyes were open, but she wouldn't even look at me. She's just staring at Daddy, right? And I said, Reba Mae, come on, let's go. And I made to reach for her collar. And as soon as my fingers touched her collar, she whipped her head around and showed me her teeth. Never. Now, this is she was huge because she was, you know, she was a foxhound, as I said, and very tall. And she's a puppy. Like, there's no reason, like, never. She was the sweetest natured, crazy, batshit nuts puppy. She turned her head really quick and looked at me, and she showed me her teeth. It went, just a low little grumble, not a flat out growl, not a snap like she was going to bite me, but she showed me her teeth and gurred at me. And I was like, holy Jesus, she scared the crap out of me. Actually, I jumped out of my skin, and I thought, well, I was like, Reba, stop that. What are you doing? You know? So anyways, I did manage to convince her to get down off the bed. But I didn't touch her, because I thought, if I try to take her by the collar and get her off, she's going to bite me. And what is wrong with my dog? What is wrong with the puppy that she's doing this? So she had been at this all week. And she knew something was wrong. She knew something was wrong with her daddy. She could tell, she could sense it, she could smell it, why do you think they have assistance animals, assistance dogs that are there for people who suffer from seizures. The person themselves doesn't even realize that a seizure is coming on yet, but the dog feels it, senses it. Maybe there's a change in your body chemistry, a smell or something, maybe an odor you exude, or your breath, or I don't know, just something. And the person isn't even looking anything like they're about to have a seizure, but the dog knows. So the dog grabs them by the hand or the sleeve and starts to sort of pull them towards the floor, which is signaling them, as far as I've ever seen anyway, how they do it, to lie down. Lie down on the floor, lie down on the ground, because you're about to seize. And if you don't lie down, you're going to hit the ground and you're going to get really hurt. So, I mean, dogs can sense things. So can cats. I mean, any animal can, I think, sense things that we are not, as in tune to. And I think it's because we live in our crazy, busy, nutty world. We've lost that ability. And I think that probably somewhere back in our human history, we did have that ability to be more not empathetic, to be more of an empath, to be more sensitive, and have more intuition, and have more ability to detect things, and to oh gosh, I don't even know how to say it, to feel something that wasn't there yet, but it's anyway. So she knew. Yeah. For a whole week, she knew, and she kept trying to tell me. She kept trying to tell him. She was glued to his ass, like stuck to him like shit to a wool blanket. She would not leave him alone. She wanted to sleep with him. A couple times too that week, when I was ready to go to bed and she was out with me, and I'd take her out and she'd have her pee, and she'd come in, and instead of doing her usual do into the spare bedroom, she'd do through the living room and come right and stand in front of our closed bedroom door and want to go in there. And I'm like, no, Daddy's sleeping. Come on, Rebe, time for bed. And I'd want to, try to put her in her bed in the spare bedroom, and she didn't want to go. And that was not normal for her. Not at all. Very odd behavior for about a week. Really odd behavior. And we both noticed it. Like, what is wrong with this puppy? What's wrong with this dog? So she knew. And she tried to tell us. She tried to warn us. And the thanks that she got for that was that she was taken back to the pound. That's the thanks she got. So after she was gone, and before I brought my husband home from the hospital, the day that I took her back to the pound, I think I may have said this already before, but I pulled into my driveway and I couldn't go in the house. My husband was in the hospital and the dog was gone. At least I had something to come home to. I had to rush home to the dog so that I could get her, out of her kennel and get her out for pee and get her out for a walk. Well, she's gone now, and there's just an empty kennel sitting there. And her empty food bowls, and her blanket is gone, and her toys are gone, and she's gone. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't come in the house, so I sat in the driveway in the car crying my truck, crying like an idiot for about 10 minutes. I couldn't do it. I put the truck in reverse. I said, fuck this. And I went up to my sister-in-law's and just, kind of hung out for about an hour or so and got my shit together, calmed down. And then I did come home. But, yeah, that was the thanks that she got. So before I brought him home, I went to the place and I walked in there without her. And this was the place that she had shown me. She had brought me to this place. She had tried so many times daily for months to get me to come to this place. And I went there and I walked in, and as soon as I walked into that sort of, it's almost like, I don't want to say cathedral, like, the trees are just a big dome, and it just goes way, like, a couple 100 feet over your head. These trees are ginormous. And I walked in there, and of course, as soon as I got close to it, I just started to bawl, just couldn't help it. By the time I got in there, I was sobbing so hard I could hardly breathe. And I just said, okay, it's me, I'm back. And as you can see, I don't have Reba with me, and I need you to stay with her. Please stay by her side. Please help her find a good forever home. And I hope she knows how sorry we are. And I mean, we don't have kill shelters up here. There is no such thing as a kill shelter, I don't think, really. Dogs will stay in the pound for months, or they'll go with a foster family until they can find them a forever family. So I ask that whoever it is up there, whoever I'm talking to, I don't know who I'm talking to, or the whole bunch of whoever's I'm talking to, but whoever you are, can you just please stay beside her? Please stay with her. So, yeah. So that's kind of what happened there. That's Reba Mae and God, and women's intuition, I guess, because I knew something was wrong. I knew something wicked this way comes. And then now with my mom being in the hospital, and again, without getting into too much detail, about a week and a half before, maybe 2 weeks before, my mom took sick and was in the hospital. My husband and I were sitting on the couch one night watching TV, and I said to him, I don't know what is going on, but I said, I have a really bad feeling. And of course he was like, what are you okay? Because I mean, we spent 2 years constantly watching me for seizure. If I have a seizure, then it's game on. Now it's surgery time, and and I said, I have a really bad feeling. And he said, what do you mean? Are you okay? And I said, no, not anything like that. I said, a bad feeling in here, like in my mind and in my heart. I said, I have a really bad feeling that something bad is going to happen. And I said to him, that expression, something wicked this way comes, is just keeps playing in my head, in the back of my head. Like, when you get a song stuck in your head and it just keeps playing away all day. I'd had it for a couple of days. It just every once in a while it would pop up into my head, and it sounded like my own voice saying, something wicked this way comes. And I told him, I said, something bad is going to happen. Something is going to go wrong. And I said, it's not you. I know that for some reason. I knew it wasn't my husband. I said, it's not you. I know that for a fact. And I said, I think it's either me or my dad. Something's going to happen with my dad. And if anything happens, so forget it. My dad, we're done. That's it. Game over. Because my dad is just, me and my dad are, he's the, besides my husband and kids, he is the keeper to the keys to my heart, and always has been. He was my first love, just like every little girl. I'm daddy's girl, definitely daddy's girl. And I was with my dad always, constantly. My dad couldn't go anywhere without me in tow when I was a kid. I was sort of the boy he didn't have, because I was such a tomboy, and my sisters were not as tomboyish at all. And yeah, so I was kind of the boy he didn't have. So I said, it's either me or my dad. I just have a bad feeling something's wrong, or something's about to go wrong. It's not wrong right now, but something wicked this way comes. And he said, oh, that's kind of scary, because, the last time you had that feeling, I had 3 strokes. So yeah, probably not a good thing for you to be feeling. And then it was about a week and a half later that I got a phone call that mom had been rushed to the hospital. So it wasn't my dad, but it was my mom. So I was that household, it was one of my parents. But so women's intuition, and I mean, I think everybody is intuitive. I'm not just saying that it's just women, but I think that we women, I think, are more in tune to like our thoughts, our emotions, our feelings, where men are more sort of analytical, and that's a big word for today. Analytical, logical. Men tend to use this a lot more than we do. We tend to use this, our hearts, right? And men tend to, I don't know, just be more logical. But I think everybody's intuitive to a certain level, some more than others. And I think I'm a little, I can be quite intuitive. If I meet somebody and I get a weird vibe from them, then it's just like, generally in time, that the reason why I had that weird vibe about that person will present itself. And maybe that that person has done anything to me or said anything to me, but you kind of find out, through the grapevine or something, that this person does have a bad reputation or has done something really bad. And that's why you get that creepy vibe, just weirded out, just you give me the heebie-jeebies, pal. I have no idea why, because you've never said or done anything to me, but I would not want to be left alone in a room with you, is all I can say, because you just make my skin crawl. And usually in time it will make itself known why that person makes you feel that way. But I think I can be pretty intuitive, and I think women's intuition to one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite movies, Practical Magic, is where one of the aunties says, "I think there's a little witch in all of us," and it's true. Us women, I think we tend to. They were talking about how one of the women said that their child was at school halfway across the town and had gotten hurt in the playground or something, and that she heard her crying or felt her pain or something, and the child was, half a town away, but somehow all of a sudden she just knew. And I've been like that for my whole life pretty much, I think, and it's not something that happens every day, and I think a lot of you can probably relate, especially a lot of women can probably relate. So, Timmy's. Yes. Powered by Timmy's. I think that's pretty much all really that there is to say about Reba Mae, God, and women's intuition. Listen to your heart, guys. Listen to that little voice. We have that little voice in the back of our head. We have that little voice in our heart that tells us when something is wrong or something bad is going to happen, or a certain person should maybe, be avoided because they just are giving you a weird, creepy vibe. And I've learned over the years, I'll be 53. Oh my God, next month now. Shit, it's September. My birthday's next month. So yeah, I'll be 53 in October. And I think in over my years and over being a mom of 3 kids and whatnot, I think I have, learn to trust that inner voice, and sort of pay heed to it. If you kind of get a silly thought comes in your head and goes back out again, whatever, and it doesn't come back, whatever, dismiss it. But if that little voice keeps playing around in the back of your head and keeps coming up, and for me, I don't know why, and I don't know why, but for some reason that phrase, something wicked this way comes, plays for me in the back of my, damaged brain, because I'm just a real treat. I have brain injury in the front, brain injury in the back, any brain tumor right here. So yeah, I'm a whole lot of fried brain. But I have learned, to trust it over the years, and everyone should do so. So anyway, I think that's it for now. And, I will try to string this together as best I can. And oh, you're going to be excited about this. I am learning, get this guys, non-techie me, after how many Google videos and whatever, I'm learning how to apply text to my thumbnail. Dun, da, da. And next, I'm going to learn how to do music, like intro and extra. Extra, is that a word? Look it up. Introduction and end. Ending of the video music. But anyways, yeah, I'm such a newbie, and I'm just, I'm trying so hard to figure this out. But, and I know I always seem to be filming the exact same spot, and the light is good here. I'm in our bedroom. It's peaceful. It's quiet. I can talk. I can not be disturbed, so it's just, I don't know, and it's comfy. I'm sitting on my bed talking to you. So how comfy can you get, right? But anyway, okay, guys, so I'm going to let you go. I'm expecting some company actually quite shortly. And I will see you all in my next video. And remember, we love you all. And don't forget, hit that little red subscribe button down below. If you're watching this on YouTube, give us a thumbs up as well. If you're watching this on my blog page, give it a thumbs up, comment, like, share, away. Guys, love you all. Mwah.